All right, intro to computer science. I just want to do some review about what we had going on this week. So going to computer science, web development. So this week this unit we've been working on is exploring web pages, so we can start writing some HTML code. So here we have introduction to HTML code, and we looked at some of the sample tags that we're going to be writing. So this new tags right here are paragraph tags. The HTML is telling us that it's going to be, or telling the internet that it's web code, and what's coming up. And the document type, the body tag, beginning and ending. This is in between those two tags where all the content of your page is going to be. So as we continue on through these lessons, your job is to read, watch any videos that are there, and then work with the directions that they give you. So this is the platform we're using, is WebLab. This is what it looks like. Any files, workspace, preview. The workspace is where you put your tags. The files, this index.html, that's your home page. It has to stay index.html. If we eventually, as we move through this code.org, we're going to add more pages, so we can add a HTML, so it says new. And so if we were doing a website about ourselves, we can right click and rename that, and we could do hobbies. And so we would know that page and our web page is going to be about our hobbies. So that's how we would do that. And when we start that, it gives you the layout for that page. So it always starts with the document type HTML, so the web internet knows to read it that way. And it starts with HTML opening tag and then a heading tag. And we're not going to put much here to start with as we're going through here, but eventually when we create a style sheet in lesson 6, this is where the link to the style sheet's going to be, is in here. And then between these body tags is where your content's going to go. So for headers, for bulleted and unbulleted lists are going to go in there, any paragraphs, pictures, things like that. And then this closing HTML tag tells us, the internet, that the web page is done. So you're going to work through all these bubbles. You're going to watch these videos. The videos are very helpful. You may think they're generic, but it talks about everything you're going to do throughout the bubbles. So to get all your participation points in here, you gotta complete all these bubbles. So make sure that you're doing them all along with the assignments that are being assigned, and complete all the bubbles, because I'm going to go back and check, and that's where you're going to get your points there. All right, so for today, we did social sleuthing in lesson 5. That was introducing you to the digital footprint that people have when they use the internet and tracking them all. So, and then we did this mini project, just getting it laid out, what our page was going to be about, start playing out your code. Then we did digital footprint. Then lesson 6 for yesterday was creating a style sheet. So making sure you work through the bubbles. So actually I'm going to go into skill 5 here and do a little bit of style sheet with you. I have messed with this one a little bit, so I'm going to change it. I'm going to go back to the beginning history so it'll look like what you started with. And it already created your index, and it had some content over here. I'm just waiting for my version history to reset. And so it always started with document type, had a heading. This right here, if you can look in my background where this version history is going, this is the link to the style sheet that was created over here. And so when it runs this page, when this page comes up on the internet, it runs down through all this code line by line, and it says, oh, we got to link this to here, so it kicks back over to here. So then all the rest of this stuff pops up. It pops up based upon the rules that we've written in the style sheet. I'm going to close that because I don't know if it's going to open. So if I'm going to go to the style sheet here, and these are rules that have been pre-written in this style sheet. And these rules, color and font size, are only going to impact these heading ones. And so like Odd World Records. And so I can click this, and if I want blue, I would have clicked blue in here. I'm on royal blue, so it changes it automatically. And the font size is in pixels. And so right now it's in 24 pixels. If I want to make that bigger, I would put 50, it makes it bigger. So now any header, size 1, so I'm going to click back over to the index. I'm going to look at my code. So right here it says heading size 1, Odd World Records. That's, you see how big it is, but if I did a regular H1 heading without a style sheet rule, then it would be smaller. So I can come in here, and if I wanted to come down here and add another heading tag, H1, I'm just making something up here, fish records, and I close that heading 1 off. I missed the beginning tag here. It was off a little bit. Let's start that over. It doesn't have to be capitalized, that's why. Kind of capitalized when that happens. So H1 header, and when I click this and I refresh and save, then it's going to pop up there so much bigger. All right, and that's because of the style sheet. If I come in here and I take this off, then it's going to take it back to the original preset heading size 1 size. So I have to put PX for pixels to change that size. And so now my paragraphs are going to be a size 14. If I want those to be italic, then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to do font. Style maybe. There we go, font style. And I pick italic. And then to close off that rule, I gotta do that semicolon. And then now when I refresh and save, then anything, if I come back to my index.html to see, turn my inspector tool on. Turn it on. Sometimes it doesn't like to work. But this, coming down here to the paragraph, so most M&Ms right here, eaten, okay, it's in italics, because that's the rule I wrote for all paragraphs. So all paragraphs and here are now going to be in italics, because that's the rule that was written in the style sheet. So that's style sheets. And then today you're working on lesson 7. So lesson 7 is a continuation of the mini project. So there's a worksheet that goes with this. So you're going to download that worksheet, and you're going to keep working through that worksheet and submit it. And make sure that you still work through every one of these bubbles. They all count for points in your grade, but you got to do them. And there's several people who are way behind on those lessons, so make sure you're getting those done. This one's not hard, just choosing from some activities and making you do those. And that's this week. Next week, we're going to be starting on intellectual property on Monday. So intellectual property is about using pictures in your web page. So making sure you have copyrights to use somebody else's stuff, how to copyright your own material, using Creative Commons, writing Creative Commons rules. And I'll try to make another video on Monday. And then we're going to start on Tuesday putting some images into your web page. So finding some images and having them on your computer and uploading them to code.org and writing the code to get those in there. And so that's where we're going with Monday and Tuesday next week, is intellectual property and using images. Have a great weekend.